Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tales of Telduria. Today we have only two members of Group B, and a floating cat that I forgot to remove from the table. Fuck. Give me a moment.
Nice.
Oh, goodbye, Hissy. There we go.
I assumed Hissy was just coming with us, just sticking to that Group B life.
That Group B life. Unfortunately, he is incapable of existing outside of Leiku, as all of his powers comes from her existence.
Damn, that is kind of sad.
It is kind of sad. Regardless, RNGesus had a 50-50 shot of Didas or Locke, and it landed on Locke. So, Locke, do you remember what happened last session?
Okay, last session, in the glory days of when we were all one big group, Reich and Catan became zombies and went for a walk, leading us all the way to a lovely little wooden cabin that it turns out was where their family was living. And half the group was invisible, half the group was visible following them. The visible group went in and met the family. Myself and the invisible group stayed outside, though it did appear that the mother knew full well we were there. After some fun hijinks, we evaded the siblings that were sent to hunt us outside, made our way into a room that had a deadly looking murder hornet. We
just wanted to
found...
be I don't know why you say it's deadly.
It certainly looked deadly. Plus, these guys are cultists. I don't imagine they just have a friendly hornet around.
All hornets are friendly. What do you mean?
Lies. You're buying into the propaganda of Big Hornet. So, during a nice meal that was going on downstairs, the invisible group upstairs made their way into the master bedroom to find some of the origin DNA needed to potentially break whatever curse was on Reich and Catan. Once we found that, I split, deciding that getting that back to Kate to make a cure was more important. Then the rest of them made their way downstairs, and sort of as everything kicked off downstairs with some people eating the food and, being poisoned, and, give us some credit, Lysandra being awesome. Layla arrived, blowing a hole in the side of the cabin wall, and then in the chaos she got attacked, and Rosin got basically everybody out, and we managed to return to the capital, from where we all made our way back to the other one, not Dragonport. I don't remember what the town was called, what the city was called now. But we made our way back there, back to basically Thieves Guild HQ, where we all went with Group A to meet Nasa, or in Duras's case, be reintroduced to Nasa, and then we decided to split in different ways. And I think that is everything.
Yeah, you actually technically lost 3 members. Because if Catan and Reich are going to Group A, then that means Kate's going with them as well.
It makes sense to give them the
She
antidote.
is making the antidote, so
Yeah.
it makes more sense for her to be with them than...
I'll say it's mildly unfortunate that you can't interact with her to help make that particular antidote, but that's because of the separation more than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, it would have helped on the travel, but she'd just be left to finish it up on her own.
Yeah. Oh, I made myself glitch out for a moment. But, yeah. To reiterate, an NPC that is attached to Group A by the name of Guava gave Group B a series of missions, specifically to find her remaining instruments, to which, to detail in full, she is looking for a grand total of 6 of them, but, well, technically 7, but she already has 2. She has a guitar and a violin. The violin was found at some point in Ardwall when she was interacting with Group A. She then tells the group what the other things are, to which I no longer have to dance around their exact descriptions, to which, I mean, I'm going to include them anyway, but the first one that she lists out is described as a small black box with a mesh center. It's actually just a portable speaker. It's supposed to be plugged in to the rest of her instruments. There is something that's described as a large black cotton ball on a metal stick, but that is just a microphone. There are 2 different types of guitars that she's trying to have you find, as well as a drum kit that can be folded up and transported and made to be portable.
Yay, we can restore the one-man band that is Guava.
Yeah.
Yay.
If only for sentimental reasons. So, in no particular order, the portable speaker is located in Ironstead. The guitar is actually in Dragonport. It's the same person that you guys stole the other guitar from. She apparently found another, so you have to go back there at some point. The microphone's actually here in Tarantus. The drum set is in an area north of Tarantus. It's in an ogre city called Scrog. So that's an option. And then there is the bass guitar that you stole very early in the campaign, and that is currently located in the city of High Rock.
So all over the world. Great.
I suppose it makes sense to start with the microphone if we know it's here in Tarantus.
Sure. Why not?
So, you want to start here in Tarantus.
Yes.
Yeah, let's start where we are.
Okay, to which, let's see, I need that. Alright, there we go. Alright, in which case, as you were told all of this information, to which you would have been told this information very obviously by Layla herself, who's now looking a few months pregnant, since rats do have relatively accelerated pregnancies. she explains to you that this particular instrument is on display at the Tarantist Archaic Artifact Museum. It's on the northern end of the city. It's not a super big museum, but it is relatively well funded and well guarded due to the fact that it is filled with ancient and archaic artifacts to which no one truly knows what they do. So the potentiality of danger is considered incredibly high.
Okay, good to know.
Oh, I forgot to start the music too. God damn it.
Oh, right. Right.
Alright, so does everyone have the music?
Yep.
Yes.
Alright, so on go. 3, 2, 1, go. But yes, as explained, it is over in the museum, the Archaic Artifact Museum in Tarantus on the northern end of the city. What do you guys want to do? Because it is so freeform. That's where it's located. Go have fun.
Ah, great.
First things first. We should probably just go as people, wanting to visit said museum, since that will allow us to actually go in, scope the place out, and be able to make a proper plan from there.
Yep, that's a very good idea.
Unlike the last time we stole an instrument, this place we can literally just go to as customers and see what's what. So I think that is the best place to start.
Yeah, I think let's do that. That's probably the best idea.
Oh wait, but in saying that, I know Group A got paid at the end of last session, but since we didn't make it back to the Thieves Guild at the end of that session, would we have been paid once we got back?
Yeah, I thought I said that, did I not?
No, you did Group A's payment, but we didn't get paid.
Fuck. Give me a second, let me check. 15,000.
15, okay.
Wonderful.
Cool. I mean, I probably would have been fine. I had 140 gold left. I don't imagine this museum is more than 140 gold to get into.
It's a $10 or 10 gold entrance fee, but yeah.
Best to clear up money beforehand.
Sure.
Yeah. So we shall, or at least I will. I don't know if obviously it's up to Duras whether he wants to join me for a scouting mission or not.
No, I join you. Don't worry.
Yeah, I join you. Don't worry.
Then yeah, we make our way to the museum to go in as patrons and check out the artifacts.
Alright, so that would be 10 gold to enter just as normal patrons and whatnot. To which, let me go get the proper wallpaper for the museum here. Where are you? Here we go. I'm gonna scroll it down to it. There we go.
Okay, nice.
Alright, so you enter the museum, and it's more or less what you expected from the museum. White walls, marble here and there, clean linoleum flooring, and so on and so forth. Everything up in various glass containers, and if they're not, then it's roped off with at least one guard nearby. I guess this would be a... You know what, just for EXP's sake, since I know you guys like EXP, go ahead and roll Knowledge Local if you have it, and then roll Perception.
Okay.
Okay, I will do one roll. Take from that what you will.
You don't have knowledge local.
Nope.
Okay.
1 + 1d10 of free inspiration.
So that's your knowledge local roll.
And then perception, which also gets free inspiration.
Aw, yeah.
But that gets a nice whopping
Nice.
bonus.
Wonderful.
Alright, so it doesn't take you too long to find out where the microphone is located. Based on your description of it to the patrons that are there, as well as the museum help guides and whatnot, you describe it kind of exactly what it is, just a large cotton ball on a big metal stick. And you see that it's on display in the weapons section of the museum. So it's surrounded by tridents and swords and axes and various things that are like that, which is kind of funny considering what it actually is, but it also means that the security in this particular area is much higher than the rest of the museum. Based on the perception checks here, you can tell that there are a minimum of 10 guards, 4 of which are stationary in each corner of the room, looking down into the room itself, and the other 6 walking in and out of each section, going in a rather large circular pattern.
Okay. Is there any sort of description next to the microphone that like explains what it does, what it can do, why it is here?
The description for the microphone itself states that they don't entirely know what kind of weapon that it is, but its true power may lie in the fact that it is very good at absorbing electricity. Which is a far cry from the rest of the weapons that are there, where they detail where the weapons came from and who wielded them, but state that there is some kind of monstrous power hidden inside the weapon itself that only the original wielder knew how to fully express, and that's the reason why it's here. The microphone is effectively just an I don't know, man, but we gotta be safe type of situation.
Sure, makes sense. Okay, is this section of the museum, is it at like the edge with a bunch of windows or in the middle of the whole thing?
It is on the right-hand side, but it's not near any of the windows.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to try and scope out in regards to this museum? At least while you're in it.
I guess if we wait a couple hours, we might be able to scope out at which points the guards change, like when their shifts end.
Okay, that's something.
Yeah.
That's just an easy perception check. Is there anything else that you'd like to scope out?
I was thinking that, see, the thing I'm not sure about is if I mix up an extract, is that going to seem too suspicious in the middle of this?
It would be considered.
Museum.
They would automatically consider it an act of aggression.
Yeah, see, that's what I was worried about.
Regardless
So
of what that spell actually
have...
is.
Yeah, I probably should have made something before coming in, but I didn't, so it's fine.
I mean, if you just need a couple seconds, you can just go in the toilet. They're not gonna have observation there and make it.
True.
I guess.
At least as far as you know.
That's true.
At least as far as we
Yeah.
know.
And that's what I'll do. I'll look for a bathroom, just somewhere out of the way where at least I can't see anybody that might have an eye on me. And I want to mix up a glimpse of truth to give myself, that'll give myself 1 round of true sight. Still 1 level away from that elusive potion of true sight.
1 level
But-
away.
It's always 1 level, man.
Glimpse of truth, gain true seeing. So yeah, it gives me true. It will give me true sight for 1 round, just to get a look at that room, see if there is, any kind of invisible guard or what. It's unlikely, but at the same time, better safe than sorry. There could be an invisible familiar or anything that keeps watch. So I just want to use the true sight to see if there is anything that I can't normally see in the room where the microphone is.
So you're going into the bathroom to do true sight so that you can inspect the area of the microphone itself.
Yes.
And Didas, you are perceiving the guard's cycle.
Yep.
Okay. We will do... Yeah, just a perception check each is... Actually, 2 perception checks from Didas, 1 perception check from Locke.
Okay. There's my perception check.
Yep.
Oh, you rolled both together, right?
Oh, yeah.
That.
I guess I could have. Yeah.
It's fine. It just means that
What's
I punch
done
it in
is
a little
done.
bit differently. Let's see. Alright, so starting off with Didas, as you are... Actually, no, I'll do Locke first. Locke, you go to the bathroom, you do your mixture, you get your true sight and everything else. You come back out and you start walking around the weapons room, examining everything that's in the room, and you do see that there are small beams of light that are hooked up to some kind of mechanism somewhere in the room that hang only over the glass cases and everything else in relation to these weapons. You could go ahead and roll Knowledge Arcana.
Okay. Oh. That is almost as good as my perception. 36.
You study these beams of light for a moment, and you can tell that it's more of a tripwire than anything else to set off some kind of alarm. To which the question becomes, do you want to reach over and pass your hands through one of these beams of light? Or your tail, or whatever appendage you want to use.
Yes. Probably
Alright.
smart to know what will happen.
Alright, go ahead and... What would be a good roll here? You know what, we'll do another perception check. It's probably the best one here in this particular situation. Alright,
Okay,
so you
49.
pass your... what appendage would you have passed through? Your arm, leg, tail?
Probably my tail.
Okay. You pass your
At
tail...
least that one you can sort of pass off.
You pass your tail through it, and you continue to walk around, and and look at everything else. And you watch the clock. You watch a little watch on your arm that I presume that all good thieves have. And
Yeah.
it takes about 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes, for a few extra guards to appear in the room. You count that it's just two, one on each end of this long exhibit, to which the both of them start talking to the other security and whatnot. And after about a minute or two of talking, these two new individuals leave. Thankfully, you rolled high enough to which you hear the discussion of the ones that are next to you, and they're talking about that the alarm went off, and they're talking to see who did it and everything else, to which the guard that was nearby effectively explains it away for you, that as you turned around and whatnot, you weren't paying attention, and your tail passed underneath the exhibit and actually accidentally set off one of the silent alarms. So you've learned quite a lot of information there.
Yeah.
And then Didas, you stand back in the corner, eating a small snack or drinking a small drink, doing whatever, simply examining the way that these guards move through the museum and how frequent and how often their their walk is. And as that's going on, a familiar shape appears beside you in a rather, what's the word that I'm looking for? Concealing attire. A long white dress, much like before, and a very large brimmed hat to cover their face, to which she says, or she asks you what you're doing.
Oh, just, looking around at the exhibits, the guards.
To which she'll respond with, you plan on stealing this during the day?
Probably not. Doesn't seem like a good idea.
And then
But
studying
maybe,
this is a bit milk toast, don't you think?
yeah, you're not wrong, but Locke is doing some things right now anyway, so I might as well see if they do a lot of changes, what they're doing.
I'm going to be going to talk to him next, but you should probably find entrances and exits so that you can enter and leave as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's a pretty good idea. I think I'm gonna go do that.
To which, as the both of you separate and she starts to make her way over to Locke, Locke, you hear the voice of your mother, but she doesn't look like your mom. To which she does ask you what you're doing.
Hello, Mother. I'm simply assessing the room. I already know the response time for the silent alarms,
She nods
and I
along.
also know where they are.
She nods along. And
If there is still a moment left of my true sight, which there might not be because it is only supposed to be one round, I want to look up at the skylight to the room to see if there's any signs of like the same sort of tripwires that I saw around the exhibits up by the light, up by the skylight.
Skylight's not located over the weapons, but your true sight would have run out since it's only one round, unfortunately.
Yeah.
However,
Okay,
as
no problem.
she will nod along to your assessment, and a couple of moments later, you will feel a hand brush up against your hair, petting you very briefly before she walks away. And as you turn around to see where she went, she is gone.
I will see where she goes one day.
I want the
Can't
both
keep
of you to
avoiding me.
understand that without any magical assistance, Layla has a 41 in stealth.
Yeah, I get that she has a insane stealth. She can't just do this shit.
She does not have any magical assistance for this whatsoever. She just has a 41 in stealth.
It doesn't stop the fact that it would likely be his goal at this point to one day watch her leave and actually see where she goes.
And the thing that makes it even funnier is that she's level 15, just like you guys. What's your stealth lock?
My stealth, I mean, to be fair, my stealth isn't bad. My stealth is 29.
Yeah, she's close to doubling that.
Damn.
Damn.
And she doesn't have any.
One day I will witness it.
And she doesn't have any magical assistance, meaning you need invisibility to stealth just as good as she does.
Yep. Damn.
Yep.
That's what you get when it comes to a master.
Basically. To be fair, her entire kit is centered around stealth. Not so much sneak attacks, just stealth itself.
Yeah. I mean, one of the feats I was considering was skill focus for stealth for that added bonus, but okay. So now we know where it is inside.
You know where the microphone is, you know the security of the room itself. Didas would probably come over and start talking about entrances and exits and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll have 2 perception checks from the both of you, since we'll say that it's 3 different wings of the museum, left, right, and center, and you're on the right-hand side, so 1 perception check for each wing.
There's 3 perception checks. Should we do them separately or just 3d20?
No, two perception checks.
Oh, 2.
Yeah. You can roll them separately or combined, it doesn't matter. It might be easier for you to do them separately if you want to do, like, the inspiration bonus and whatnot.
Yeah, there we go. I'll just roll the 2 of them separately.
Oh, yeah. I'm going for separate.
Almost a crit from one of them.
Almost a crit and a 1 on the inspiration.
Yeah, I know. So you both walk around the museum for a while, acting like tourists, simply examining the items that are there, because I think at the very least, the items that are there would interest Locke to a degree.
Oh, absolutely. This place is absolutely fascinating. The fact that he didn't know it was here until now upsets him.
I don't know about Didas. I don't know if he would be all that interested. But beside from that, you look around to see if there's any other entrances and exits. There are 2 emergency exits, one on the left wing, one on the right wing. But it is very clear that using them will set off some kind of alarm, regardless of which way they are used. There is a skylight in the exact center of the museum, and it is rather large, too. But it is about 100 feet off the ground, meaning it's going to be a pain in the ass to use it if you wish to try and use it. And as you go along the entire outer edge of the museum, while there are windows, every single one of those windows is fastened into the wall. What I mean by that is, unlike a lot of windows that we're all familiar with, there's no way to lift the window and allow air in and out. There's no turnstile or a key or rotation device to, like, open the window in any way, shape, or form. It is straight up just a sheet of glass encased in concrete.
Understandable.
And thanks to the 48 here in that first perception check, the glass itself is reinforced. While it's not magically reinforced, it would take quite a lot of force to simply smash through it.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Good to know.
Okay. So, the question is, which way do we want to do this? Do we want them to know it was stolen by literally leaving it empty after we've stolen it? Or do we try and make a false microphone? It seems pretty simple in its design. We could just put a fake in its place, and potentially they don't realize that it's been stolen.
I don't know. Does that matter if we don't get caught?
You know what? True.
It
Very true.
doesn't. But at the same time, if no one ever decides to look for it, then well, no one ever looks for it. So, I mean, I'm fine either way.
I mean, same. I'm gonna say it's your choice if you want to make a decoy, and you're probably the one stealing it anyway because you have better stealth than me. So, if you want to replace it with a decoy, I can try to help you. I'm just not good at making stuff.
Okay, is there any kind of signage anywhere that tells us the opening times of the museum?
Could you repeat that question, please?
Is there any signage anywhere that tells us the opening times of the museum?
Yeah, that would have been at the front that you would have found. Right now it's the middle of the day, but it has a 12-hour cycle. So I'll just say from 6 to 6 is when it's open and closed.
Okay. And the glass cabinets that the weapons and things are behind, does it appear to be regular glass?
Yeah, seems to be more or less regular glass. A little thicker than normal, but more or less just glass.
Oh, and the big dome in the middle, is it also regular glass or is it just the reinforced one?
The skylight, that would be too high in the air for you to check with those perception checks, unfortunately.
Fair.
But you're still there in the middle of the day. Are you planning on stealing it in the middle of the day, or are you trying to steal it at a different time?
Well, I think we go in at night. I think it would be
at night is probably the better option.
Okay.
I've just been looking through. I have apart from literally just turning invisible and attempting to steal it, I have nothing that would really help me in the middle of the day to do this.
I mean, I could make a small area of darkness or fog, but I don't think that's enough to make it actually useful.
I mean, darkness can help come the situation arrives, but since you want to do this at night, what are the things that you need to know so that you can do it at night?
Well, we need to know how many guards there are at night, but I don't think there's a way to find out right now.
You mean you can just wait?
Sorry? I mean,
you know that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I want to, in the time between now and like when the museum closes, I want to go and find some kind of like glass cutter.
Okay. I would say in the meantime, you might want to look at if that even exists in Pathfinder as a thing to buy.
That is true.
It might be under either adventuring gear alchemical creations, locks, keys, tools, and kits. Like, that's the only thing that I can think of as to where it would be.
Well, the kits won't open.
Yeah.
Let's...
So, I presume the both of you are then going to leave the museum and then simply hang around nearby to examine the guards at night to see how many go in and out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty.
That's
Oh, and Oni
a good
just did
idea.
a take care of yourself, so make sure everyone drink, even though I don't have any water.
And I don't have any beer, so
Fuck.
I have an energy drink, so just not really taking care of myself, but still.
I'm asking my wife to get me some water. Alright, so in which case, this would be, I think, 2 more perception checks. One to watch the, like the shift change itself of guards going in and out, and then the other to see the rest of how the guards function at the museum.
okay.
And I actually can't believe I timed that properly for this exact moment.
It just works.
This one I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna get the timing right. They'll probably spend a little bit too long in the museum scoping everything out. Nope. It is now nighttime. So now I'm just imagining the both of you. One of you 6.5 feet tall, the other one 4 feet tall with big sunglasses, just watching the museum as you eat coffee and donuts in the corner.
I'm not being shady at all.
Alright, so during the day, you watch 20 guards leave the museum, being replaced by 30 as they go into the museum. For the outside, at least for tours around the museum for security purposes, you see a guard pass by every half hour. And they change directions when that happens. So the first shift goes clockwise, and the second shift goes counterclockwise, then it's back to clockwise again. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's for the outside and everything else. What else are you gonna try and do?
Can we watch the
Criminal dog.
criminal dog? What did I want to say?
I don't know, sorry. I interrupted you because I wanted to point
It's
at
fine,
someone
it's
calling
fine.
him a slur.
That's okay.
Okay, while I'll leave Duras to keep watch down on the street, I'm going to use an invisibility potion, and also
Are you just gonna tail directly behind a guard to get inside without having to open the door?
oh, that's far. That's a much better idea than I had planned.
Oh, fuck. Damn it.
My plan was invisibility, spider climb, and go and check out the skylight.
I mean, you can give
Well-
those to Dadas to do. He's probably much better at climbing than you are.
That is true. Yeah, okay. I will give Duras a potion of invisibility
Thank you.
and a potion of spider climb, which
I
The +8
Don't-
to climb.
think that's needed actually. You can just keep that. I can just airwalk up there.
Do you want to do the skill check for it or no?
Kind of yes, because experience, but also kind of no, because not one. So I think I'm just gonna walk
Coward,
up
do
there.
it for the EXP.
Okay.
You see, the nice thing is, since you have airwalk, if you start to fall and are failing, you can airwalk and be safe.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Let's do that.
Okay. And then I need a potion of invisibility myself to be invisible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 second level slots used, which is fine.
You're using any other spells or no?
Actually, yes, I am. I'm going to use a level 1 for negate aroma, just so that I can't be detected by scent.
Mm-hmm. Any others?
No, not currently. Because unfortunately, I don't have any that reduce the sound that I make.
Yeah, nothing from me either.
Alright, then I guess we will have Locke do 2 stealth checks, Didas do a stealth check and a climb check.
Right, yeah, I don't get inspiration on this, because sadly I can't get free inspiration on stealth checks, which is...
I think you can still use inspiration on it just costs a point.
Actually, yeah, I might as well use it, because I've got like 14 points a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then remember, Didas, your climb check, it's a +8 bonus on it.
Yep, that is very good.
So 1 and 2. Oh wait, no, I did them wrong because I didn't add the 20 that I get from being invisible.
I see.
Do you want me to re-roll those, or...?
Did you add the 20 for your invisibility, Didas?
Yeah, I do not have a 21 in stealth.
Okay, just making sure. I'll add the 20s here. Okay. Alright. And then, since you are now in your positions, go ahead and both of you roll for perception. Alright, so both of you get into your positions and you start to examine the museum and everything that's on the inside. Starting with Didas, when you get up to the roof, you find that there is no security up here. But that is because there is no way to get to the roof except from the outside. Which is stranger still, because the only windows that do open are the windows on the skylight.
That's weird.
Now, the windows on the skylight are locked, but they are locked on the outside, not the inside.
That is even weirder. Okay, good to know.
And then both of you, in your position, start examining the way that the guards move around, and it is much the same as they do on the outside. While there are more guards here, they each take a shift, doing a round around the building and then through the building. And then partway through the building, they find the person that they trade off with, and then that person does their walk in the opposite direction. Which means that there is, thanks to this 46, there is about a hour-long window, specifically in relation to the weapons room, where you can sneak in without being seen because of the way that this functions. Because, like I said, a guard goes around the building in a clockwise fashion as their first thing, stops when they see a guard that they are supposed to be trading with next, and then that person goes counterclockwise. And because these positions go from left to right inside the building, there is a point in time where the people, when they do their switch, leaves the weapons room open for just under an hour.
Okay.
That's nice. That's a pretty long window.
You still have to figure out some way to deal with those invisible alarms, though. Are the both of you going to be leaving your posts and, like, reconvening and talking to each other about what you learned?
Yeah, I would go down.
Yeah, I'll follow and make my way back outside.
Alrighty. So the both of you leave the museum area, go down the block and everything else, and start to discuss the information that you know. When that happens, you find Layla in her normal clothing right beside you, to which she gives the both of you a sandwich, to which when you look at the sandwich, it's a very basic ham, salami, and cheese sandwich. But the crust has been cut off and the sandwich has been cut into triangles.
My favorite.
Well, thank you.
And she asks the both of you what your plan is, because it seems from the conversation that she overheard that you have all the information that you need.
Yeah, I think the best way in is the roof. Locke is pretty good at lockpicking, I believe, so you can just open it from the outside. You can use my airwalk to just go up, go back down without being hurt, probably. We have a lot of time inside, like an hour in the weapons room.
Yeah. The only thing I don't know how we're gonna do it is literally getting into, well, and past the silent alarm.
I mean, if I come with you, I could try to dispel it, but I'm not sure if I can dispel the
Layla
alarm
then asks
directly if I
if you
can
figure
see
out
it.
where the contraptions are. Because you can probably shut it off if you know where they are.
That's a good point.
She looks
Yeah,
disappointed
Yeah,
in
it
your
is.
response. She goes, "Oh, so you don't have all the information. Well, we can't stay here for too long. We're still on the clock."
We have almost all the information.
Yeah, but we only can be here for a couple of days. There's a lot of instruments and a lot of time to get to those instruments.
That's true, they're all over the world. Okay.
So you're going in
I
that
will
museum
say-
tomorrow. I presume tomorrow night, yes?
Yep.
So
I
figure
will
out
say
your
I'll be
plan
right
then.
back. I'm going to use a potion of airwalk, another potion of invisibility, head up to the roof, and then I'm going to use Arcane Eye
Mhm.
to see inside the room again and try to find like the control panel sort of thing for the actual mechanism for the alarm.
So you're going up to the roof with airwalk and invisibility, and then throwing
Yep.
Arcane Eye through the skylight
Through the skylight, yeah.
into the main lobby area to try and find something that 100% wouldn't be in the main lobby area.
No, but I can move the Arcane Eye up to 30 feet around.
It would still be in the lobby area.
Yeah, I would have thought, maybe it's me overthinking it, but I just thought that would be my easiest point of getting the eye in,
Yeah.
and then move it towards the lobby area to try and find it, rather than getting close to the main doors and trying to send it through that way.
Well, think of how a thief thinks, or think of how security works. If there is a mechanism that controls this silent alarm, Where would this silent alarm be probably located?
Probably some kind of guard room.
Correct. And where are guard rooms usually located?
Usually either near an entrance or in the back of the building.
Usually hidden away where most people don't go.
True.
And so doing airwalk and invisibility to go up to the lobby isn't going to particularly help much.
True. When I saw the obviously beams of light with true vision, was it sort of was there almost no gap between it?
There were.
Or...
It was a very thin gap, but you being a small creature, you specifically being a small creature, can potentially reach through it without triggering it.
Okay. There's also the option of I can become even smaller to be able to get through.
I guess, if that works.
Okay. I think we have all the information we can get tonight without risking potentially meaning that there is even more guards tomorrow because something suspicious happened tonight. So I think for now we need to just leave and sort of try and come up with a more solid plan of what we do once we're inside. Getting in is doable. We know that is fairly easy to do.
Yeah, the problem was the silent alarm.
Alright, so go ahead, discuss your plan. What's your plan? What's step one, basically? You gonna wait until night, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Wait until night.
Wait until night, to which 8 hours will have passed, so you get all of your spells back, Locke.
Yeah.
Wait until night, and what is your plan of attack? How are you entering the building?
I guess through the roof is the best way. So airwalk onto the roof, invisibly, and then lockpick the window, the dome.
Okay, that means I suppose if we use airwalk for getting back up, we don't need a rope.
I was going to say this is a 100-foot drop. How are you getting into the building? So far the plan is wait until night, get onto the roof, pick lock the skylight windows. How are you getting into the building? Are you just going to airwalk down?
I think so. I mean, for the duration of 10 minutes per level, that's quite a long time at this point.
Alright.
What level is it?
So you're gonna airwalk into the room, but wait into the lobby, because that's where the skylight is over.
Yeah.
And then run over to the weapon room, and then what? How are you going to pull the microphone out? The microphone is one of the ones in a glass case.
Okay, so I was looking at tools, and there's artisan tools.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it doesn't go into great lengths as to exactly what they are, but you could make the argument that some kind of glass cutting tool would be part of an artisan set of maybe a glass worker, a glass sculptor, something like that maybe. But there is no specific glass cutter that I can find named, so that would be entirely at your discretion.
Let's see. I was looking at anything that mentions glass. Buoyant balloon, a fist-sized alchemically treated animal bladder. You twist it to break a tiny glass ampule inside it, and it immediately starts to fill with buoyant gas.
What the hell?
It can lift up to
like
20 pounds of weight as it rises. Okay. Let's see if anything mentions glass here. No, there is a glass cutter. It's literally in keys, locks, tools, and kits. There's just a glass cutter. It's 5 gold pieces.
Oh.
I'm surprised you didn't just Control F, look for glass.
I really should have. I think I overthought it. Oh yeah, a literal glass cutter. So I'm gonna pick it during the next day. I'm gonna pick up a glass cutter.
All right, so that'd be 5 gold. Make sure to add it to your inventory. Thankfully, it is weightless.
Cool. I say that knowing full well that I'm probably just going to put it in the minor bag of holding anyway.
And it also says that it goes best with glue paper to reduce noise. Which, that one is 1 gold. Do you want to buy a thing of glue paper to help catch the glass so that it reduces noise?
Yes.
Alright, so that'd be 1 gold as well.
Okay, so 6 gold gone.
Though I guess I'll ask if you want to buy any more glue paper, because it's just 1 paper that it sells you for each gold piece.
Yeah, I'll just get 5 and just spend a full 10 gold.
Alright, perfect. These are also weightless as well, so you don't have to worry too much about them.
5. Okay.
And then, how are you exiting? Same way you came, or just right out the front door?
I'm the same way we came in.
I imagine. Yeah, just go back out the top.
Alright, so here is your big bad plan of stealing a cotton ball and a stick.
Wait, airlock, guy, lobby, living room, glass cutter, microphone. Yes. I especially love step 5, steal microphone.
I mean, to be fair, if it wasn't on there, we might forget to steal the microphone.
I believe it.
Okay, true. Fair.
Oh wait, I just realized we're doing all this overthinking for the response time of the silent alarm. I clocked that silent alarm response time at like 5 minutes. Now granted that was during the day, but that probably still gives us a solid minute at least to get out.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. The power of D&D, you overthink everything.
Should be doable.
Also, I think rather than airwalk, because having read it, you climb or descend at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, it just means it takes you a little while.
It might be worth me just burning 2 third-level slots for 2 potions of fly. Or
Sure,
if you want
can
to
fly.
I mean, all it does is give you a fly speed. Airwalk... I would say that there is give and take. Airwalk is a little slower, as if you're walking downstairs, but it's quieter than fly.
And we'll stick with airwalk.
Yeah. But fly is
quieter,
much faster, because you just get to
Yeah.
go directly to where you're trying to go.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, you
Then-
can fly out, but I think we should airwalk in, definitely.
Okay, what I'm going to do then is I will prepare but not take a potion of fly. So
You're gonna
that
do 2,
if
so that you and Dadas can use them.
that depends whether Duras is planning to actually come inside with me or
Yes.
if he plans to stay on the roof.
That's actually a good question. You're gonna stay on the roof, Dadas, or...
It's a good question. If I stay on the roof, I probably don't have to stealth as much. That's probably a good idea.
Okay. So I'll go in solo, so I just need 1 potion of fly to potentially get myself out quickly if needed. Otherwise, it will be the use of airwalk.
Seems good.
Okay.
I like it.
I
Alright,
think this is gonna go well.
in which case... go ahead and each of you roll for perception. To wait until night, and for all the guards to do their switch. Alright, perfect. And then... This is where you guys are both casting invisibility and airwalk to get to the top of the roof, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would need a stealth check from the both of you. Remember to include your plus 20s on those checks.
I will then an inspiration.
Ah, that's the exact same.
Thank God for that plus 20.
Yeah.
Alright. And now that you're at the top of the roof, the next step is breaking into the skylight, to which the locks are on the outside. You do need to open up 2 windows for you to fit in, so this would be 2 different lock-picking checks, or disable device.
Disable device check. Oh damn, I didn't realize that was actually higher than... I think that might be overall my highest actual modifier.
Probably due to the item that you have with it. Since the Masterwork gives you a plus 2 bonus on it.
Oh, right, yeah. So that is... 30... Which I do have 3 inspiration on as well, which is
Oh,
good.
you rolled an 8. So that's
55.
1. You need to do 2 of them, so that's the first one.
2.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh god.
that is a
So you
nat one.
open up the first window perfectly fine, and as you insert your thieves' tools into the next lock to open up the window next to it, both of you hear a crunch, and the lock you slowly pull back, looking at your thieves' tool, and you go, son of a bitch, not again. You have now lost your Masterwork thieves' tool.
That probably would have been the concealable one that I keep on my person. I will have to pull out my Masterwork one from my bag of holding.
The concealable is an addition, so concealable is your regular... If you just buy a concealable, it's treated as a regular lockpicking
On the
kit.
thing it said it's treated as a Masterwork.
Is it?
Yeah. Where is it?
Oh, otherwise function as masterwork. Okay.
Yeah, these sorts of stuff.
Well then, I thought it was just a thing that you can add. But alright, so you have two thieves' tools is what you're telling me.
I do, after having broke one previously
God,
and being left
yes.
without them.
You know what? Fair. Thank God you did that.
Thank you.
Go ahead, since that window is now busted and can't be opened from the other side, due to the lock being inaccessible now, you have to do two separate lock-picking checks to open up a window wide enough for you to get through.
Okay. Try again. It's 1. And 2, and neither are in at once.
Nice. Alright, so the window is now open. What's the next step?
Well, the next step is we need to wait for the guard. Well, for the guard that tells us that we've now got an hour before the next guard is in that room.
Then the both of you need to roll for perception. Alright, so you wait long enough, and that guard, or at least the guard position that gives you an hour to work with, is good to go. You have... What is it for airlocks? Spell, info, airlock...
I think it was 10 minutes.
10 minutes per level,
so
you guys are level 15, so that's
2.5
2 hours. And, oh wow, you literally would have ran out of airlock. Waiting for that specific guy to give you an hour.
Okay, I will use a second one.
Alright. And then it's just you walking down, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So then, Locke, you're going to have to do two stealth checks. One that gets you into the lobby, and then one that gets you into the weapons room.
Okay, I will use inspiration on both of these. Okay, 47
Alright,
and
perfect.
49.
Did you remember the 20?
I did not. Shit.
Well, you have to use another invisibility for it anyway.
Yep. Okay.
But we will say that you did not use your invisibility here, so you are currently visible inside the weapons room. Thank God you're in a time and place that doesn't have cameras. I presume then you're going to drink your true sight so that you can see where the bars are?
Yep.
Alright, in which case, for breaking the glass, you have to do a sleight of hand, followed by another sleight of hand. For the glass cutter itself, it's a sleight of hand just to cut and break the glass. The other sleight of hand is to catch it with the glue paper.
Okay.
And then you need
nice
to
thing
make a
is-
third sleight of hand to do all of that without touching the alarm lights.
Okay. Thankfully, free inspiration. 1,
Almost in that one, though.
2.
Oh, don't do this.
Alright, they got
3.
better as they went along. So they would have been in order, cutting the glass, catching the glass, and doing it without touching the bars, to which you succeed. However, that is technically a standard action, meaning your true sight is now gone. So now you have to grab the microphone and pull it out without touching it for stuff that you cannot see. So this will increase the sleight of hand DC, to which you have to make 2 more.
Okay.
One to grab the microphone and one to pull it out without touching. And the
35,
DC was a
42.
40. God damn. Grabbing the microphone is easy. It's pulling it out that was the hard part. So you've gotten the microphone. You now need to stealth your way back. To which I presume you are now going to drink your potion of fly.
Yeah, I will drink the potion of fly. And use that to head straight back up.
Alrighty. In which case, it would be 3 stealth checks from you, and then 1 stealth check from Dras. Specifically, 1 for you leaving the room, 1 for you stealthing back up to the window in the lobby, and then 1 from each of you stealthing off of the roof without getting caught.
Okay.
You have another invisibility to get off? For stealth?
Yeah. I will use 1 before I leave the room, and I will give 1 to Duras once I get back up top. So, again, I will use inspiration for mine. I'm making 3, you said?
Yes, 3 of them.
2, 3.
Sure.
That was, incredibly quick. Locke is a very good thief. Good job, Locke.
Yeah.
I was trained by the best.
Or
I'm
the
being
angriest,
carried by the
whichever
4-foot
happens.
rat.
Hell yeah. Now we have a microphone.
Yeah, you do.
Nice. Just 1 microphone.
So, as soon as we are away, we disappear our way back to the Thieves Guild,
Well,
and...
hold on. I need to pull up a couple of things on my end, that's why I was quiet. So,
no worries.
Locke, you start to make your way back through the room, and as you were going up to the roof, alarms start to rain out from inside the museum, to which you seem incredibly confused by. However, both of you do think relatively quick on your feet with the stealth check here to close all of the windows to make it look like they were untouched. And as you start observing these guards in the museum, they all start to congregate to near each other towards the lobby, shouting and yelling out things that you obviously can't hear from not only the distance but the glass. And all of them start to just bolt it out of the museum and into the city. As you go over to the edge of the museum, you see flashing lights in the distance indicating the police. Hello, Yak. Thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. So you see lights off in the distance, just to repeat what I said last, and all the guards in the museum are running off in that general direction. What are you two going to do?
Different direction.
I'm assuming the best thing to do is go in the opposite direction to the lights.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, you going back underground as you said?
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, so we'll go back underground into Thieves Guild itself. To which that's what that last stealth check would have been for. And as you arrive, I would like the both of you to go ahead and roll for perception.
Okay.
Almost another nat 20 from the
Almost.
Almost a nat 20? Damn it. So as
We're
you
gonna
get
get
back,
teased on
you
the wrong with
find
these.
you find Layla there, and she looks over at the both of you, and she says, "I heard alarms. Was that you?"
I don't know what happened. I did not trip an alarm. That I am certain of. They ran
Yeah, actually-
out of the museum. I don't think that was anything to do with us.
Yeah, same. I have no idea what happened there.
Layla seems oddly concerned about this and goes, "Which direction did they run? Do you remember?"
We saw
we
some
went
lights.
in. What? We'd know which direction we went, so we'd have an idea of which direction.
I mean, I never
lights were, right?
detailed the exact location, but you can just say it was the southwest end of the city.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'd say southwest end of the city was where the lights were.
She thinks for a moment. Was it by the piers, or do you not know?
I failed.
We
I
didn't
didn't
check.
I didn't pay close enough attention. I just thought the best thing was to get out of there.
She sighs for a moment and goes, "Okay. Well, you have the rest of the night to do what you want. You can go and investigate it if you wish, since I am curious, or you can wait until the morning and read the newspapers yourself."
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you two gonna do?
I'm gonna be honest. Locke is gonna go and investigate.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested now.
Okay.
He is far too nosy of what is going on in the world.
What would be
to not
Ross's
go.
reason?
Also, just okay. I think this is more me than the Ras that's nosy. I guess the Ras would honestly not care and just stay.
Oh, we got Tiny Shane.
Yeah, I know. Here, lay on the bed right here and put your hand here. I'll pop it. Just you have to lay properly. Lay on your tummy and face this way. Lay on your tummy and face this way. Thank you. And now lay on your back and give me your other arm.
But you're in the middle of it.
It takes like 5 seconds. They already sold the mic. I know, but the tension on one side helps the tension on the other. Your hand feel a little bit better.
All I can say is in and out 10-minute adventure.
In and out. It was actually an in and out 10-minute adventure. All right, so go ahead and the both of you roll knowledge local, and then roll perception. And if you don't have knowledge local, get them. Is that your knowledge local, or is that your perception?
No, I don't have knowledge local.
Jesus. Another nat
Knowledge
20 from
local.
Dross.
Yeah, they're gonna come back to us, Brett.
Perception.
We're gonna go straight to level 30.
Straight to level 30, yeah.
We'll meet up with everybody halfway towards being complete prestige classes.
I mean, at the very least, EXP is still divided amongst NPCs as well, so it's not like it's divided by 2, it's divided by 3. But, damn. Alright, so Locke, you start interacting with a lot of the people that are outside, since they're curious as you are, trying to figure out where, and they start directing you down and stuff like that. Granted, you didn't roll high enough, you just heard directions, but you didn't pay attention to anything else that they were saying, you just rush off. And Dadas, being twice your size, walks very calmly beside you. So you're at running speed, he's at walking speed, and it's kind of funny to look at.
Dee-doop, dee-doop.
That's just mean.
And I would like the both of you... Oh, you both did roll perception. And as you were walking down, thanks to Dadas's nat 20, Jesus Christ, Dadas,
yeah.
you notice a shadowy figure run across the rooftops just in the bare left periphery of your vision. In the opposite direction of the flashing lights.
In the opposite.
Yes. Locke, you also notice it because the DC was actually a 50. Like a raw 50, and you rolled a 52, because Jesus fuck.
Because inspirational bullshit.
So do we keep going, or do we try and follow this one?
I mean, I say we follow the shadowy guy.
Yeah, sounds good.
I mean, surely Mum would have told us if someone else was on a job in town tonight, right?
Probably, maybe. Let's find out.
Alright, so like I said, they were on the left side of your periphery. So on the left side of your peripheral vision. And they were on the roofs. They were jumping from roof to roof. What are you gonna do?
Suppose to start with, we need to just sort of follow along on the ground, but as we go, I can mix us up a couple flight potions.
Okay.
So that we can head up to the roofs ourselves.
Alrighty. In which case,
Sounds good.
I would need an acrobatics check from the both of you. To continue to sprint along in order to try and keep up with this particular individual while on the ground.
Okay.
That is...
Actually, make it 2 acrobatic checks.
That is dexterity based, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so at first, Block and Dadas, the both of you are keeping pace and everything else, but eventually, when this figure turns and starts to go in a different direction, heading out of the city, Dadas, you start to get left behind, either due to your heavy armor slowing you down, or the fact that you aren't particularly used to doing this type of endurance. So you have, the both of you have a 6-second choice here, to which I will start counting down. Locke, are you going to leave him behind? 6, 5, 4,
I
3,
am,
2.
but I will chuck one potion of fly to him and keep going while I mix the other for myself.
Alright. Let's look at fly. Let's see what kind of fly speed it gives you. 60 feet, so it literally triples your speed.
Ah.
Alright, so in that lock, for the potion that you're passing Dadas because he's being left behind, you need to make a ranged attack. Basically to just throw it towards him for him to catch and drink.
Okay.
And this will be checked against Dadas's Flatfoot. Does a 37 pass Dadas's Flatfoot?
Yeah, I mean, it passes everything.
Alright,
Yeah.
and then I need Dadas to make a reflex save to actually catch it.
Okay, that is
Alright, you do successfully catch it.
Oh, good.
Locke tosses you the potion. You catch it, slow down in order to try and drink it before you start to fly. However, you're going to need to make a perception check, which I'll ask in just a moment, because both of you are going to. And then, Locke, you continue to run, following behind the person, to which they're starting to pull away from you now. But you do finish your potion and start to drink it. And both of you, at different times, are jumping up into the air and flying off to try and follow this individual. So both of you will need to make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Pretty good.
Both of you find the person that you were hunting down, and by the time you catch them, they're very close to exiting the city. You follow after, and not far outside of the eastern city walls, you manage to catch up, literally just because of the fact that you now have a speed of 60. This person had a speed of 40. This is why they were slowly pulling away from you.
There.
You eventually catch up and are now within range to speak, to which the both of you may, if you so wish, unless you want to try and do other things.
I was just gonna say, so what was the job?
That's your opening line. Got it. The moment you say, so what was your job, the person heel turns, and in those small 6 seconds, everything slows down as the person just stops in their track and seems to grow a little bit larger. Their features start to grow a little more draconic in nature, and as a matter of fact, the cloak that they're wearing unfurls for just a brief moment to reveal these massive black dragon wings. And as you were standing there, to which I assume is a mixture of shock and mild awe that this person just transformed into a half-dragon right in front of you.
Absolutely.
Give me just a moment. Plus that, plus that, plus that. You take 56 damage straight to the side of the skull as this massive hand-carved marble hammer collides with the side of your body.
Ow, both of us? Well, which one?
Locke. Locke was the one that spoke.
Ah,
Oh. That's not nice. I only came to see what job you were doing with the guild, right?
To which the both of you can go ahead and roll for perception. Since I presume that's what you're spending your turn with, or turn doing.
Yep.
yeah.
And Dadas, you rolled high enough. You get to roll knowledge history. Actually, Locke, you also get to roll knowledge history. I forgot you're a nerd.
So, just intelligence?
Do you not have it? Damn. Yeah, just
I
intelligence.
don't. I have planes, religion, and engineering for some reason.
Womp womp.
So, behold my best stat.
Okay. Alrighty. As the both of you stand there and study this for a moment, you notice something rather intriguing about this particular individual. The entire left-hand side of their body is covered in burn marks. Third-degree burn marks that have slowly, somehow, healed over time, leaving the skin look like this pussy mass of flesh. The next thing you see is this person's hammer immediately hitting you again. Locke, what is your CM defense?
My CM defense is 27.
And Didas, what is your CM defense?
1 second, wasn't second. 30.
30. Okay. Both of you are knocked 15 feet in the opposite direction of this particular person, and knocked prone. Each of you take 49 points of damage.
Uncool.
As well as... So that's 1 and 2. And then Locke, you also take another 41 damage, and Didas, you take another 39 damage. For mechanical purposes, she is doing something called an awesome blow. Basically, she makes a singular attack, but instead of against your AC, it's against your CM defense, and if it connects, they automatically push you back 5 feet. However, for every 5 above your CM defense, rounded down, they push you back another 5 feet, and if they push you back more than 10 feet, you're knocked prone. In this case, she was 15 above for both, so you got pushed back 15 feet. You then take fall damage for the amount of distance that you took with no save allowed, which is a 1d6 per foot, so that's why the 15d6 was rolled. And the damage is rolled, but the reason why it's not as large as the last time is because it does not include another feat that they have, which is power attack, meaning you were both spared 21 points of damage.
Oh, thank God. Because, let's just say, if there was something below severely bloodied, I would be in that right now.
Oh. Can I just spend a round healing both of us with channel energy?
I mean, you're prone, so you have to spend your whole turn standing up.
Well, then I guess I'm gonna do that.
So the both of you would be spending your whole turn standing up, and in that process... she's going to take another step forward, roar out, and do a full attack action. To which that is a 40, 20 plus 30. 1 will go towards Locke, and then the remaining 3 will go after Didas. I know a 42 hits. What is Didas's AC?
27.
So that hits. That hits.
Oh God.
So that's a...
This isn't good.
Don't die on me, please.
There's a strong chance I might.
Your mom is
How
gonna
hard
kill
is-
me.
Alright, so Locke, you take 58 points of damage. Treat this as
Okay.
non-lethal damage, meaning it physically cannot drop you below -1.
Then I'm on -1,
And then
because
Didas,
I literally was on 1.
I see. And then Didas, 120.
120. Damn, that's 5 more to my HP.
So both of you drop to -1, fall well, you drop to 0, because you can't go lower. But, you both drop to 0, fall unconscious, and when the morning comes the next day, you find Layla standing over both of you, to which the both of you see that she is going through this massive wave of going back and forth like a goddamn ping pong ball between upset, disappointed, and concerned, but mostly upset.
Fair. Fair.
And she starts to yell about what happened and everything else. But every single time she gets to a second word in her sentence, she pulls back and stops yelling, trying to talk normal, and then failing to talk normal, and instead returning to yelling. Just going back and forth with that, asking what the hell happened last night.
Well, we went to see what was happening. We spotted someone fleeing on the rooftops. Assuming it was a fellow guild member, we went in pursuit, see if there was anything that we could do. When we approached, she did not seem to like that, and we got pummeled into the ground.
Yeah, they turned to a half.
She had half her body was burns. It was really intriguing.
And yeah, she beat the shit out of us in a couple seconds.
Layla's eyes start to narrow and everything else, and she'll go, when you get back, go talk to the sketch artist. We're going to go kill her, if we have the convenience to do so.
Sounds good.
Yes, ma'am.
However, on the way back, she does ask about any other notable things about this particular individual that you can remember, assuming the concussion doesn't get in the way of that.
I don't know if I imagined it. I'm pretty sure it happened. But she sort of took on aspects of, a dragon. But that may be the concussion.
No,
To which she looks over
I saw that too, so...
She looks at Duras to confirm what you just did, and she looks back and forth between the both of you, and she goes, okay, so you were attacked by a barbarian. They were most likely raging.
Yeah. Probably. And she knocked us out of the sky, which gave her time to just pummel us to the ground. Not a good position.
To which, Locke, it is at this point that once you start connecting the dots of a barbarian, massive burn scars on one side of their body, but most notably, that fat fucking marble hammer that she was carrying around, a name pops into your head. Because you used to study a lot of history books, especially ones around the Civil War. So you knew who Nasa was, though you didn't really know what she looked like. So you did get to meet her during the last session, to which I forgot to ask your character and how they would interact or react to that, since that's like looking at an actual historical figure eye to eye, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he was probably mostly just in awe, especially that his interaction with her quickly led to a thinly veiled death threat.
It wasn't thinly veiled at all, but... But,
yeah, so...
going off of the knowledge that you have, you think it might be her sister, Estelle. But there is one key point that is against it, to which there is a picture of Estelle in the book, but it doesn't look anywhere close to the person that you saw. Sure, it's still, black hair with green eyes, but the hair was stylized very differently. There were also some colored highlights in that hair of the old photo. And obviously someone in military gear, in armor, is going to look very different than they do in their civilian clothes. However, when you look at the picture again through your history book, the hammer is the exact same hammer. There may be a little bit more wear and tear, maybe a little bit rounder or chipped in certain areas, but it is the same hammer.
Once I've checked that and I'm damn sure about the hammer, I will go to Layla directly with it and be like, this is gonna sound crazy, but I think this is the woman that beat the snot out of us last night.
And she looks at it for a moment, and she gets unreasonably mad about it, to which, after eventually calming down, and the both of you would ask why she got so upset, she would explain that now, because, assuming you are correct, she can't kill them.
Yeah, that's a goddamn war hero. What the hell?
I don't give a fuck about that. Layla would never forgive me if I killed her. I mean, Leiku would never forgive me if I killed her.
I mean, yeah, that too.
She just starts throwing a minor hissy fit, to which Didas, you can tell, isn't so much her throwing a hissy fit, it's more along the lines of her throwing a pregnancy hissy fit.
Yeah, fair.
You gonna do anything to help quell that?
I don't know if I can.
I mean, you gonna try anything? You gonna try and be a good husband?
I am trying, but my mind is blank.
Think of yourself. Your 3.5-foot tall pregnant wife is trying to throw a hissy fit. You, being about 6 feet tall, what is the easiest goddamn thing you can do?
I guess the easiest thing would be to just put her into a hug and
You mean
until
pick
she
her up?
calms down.
Just pick her up like a
Yeah.
small child?
Kind of.
Alright, so you scoop her up, picking her up off the ground, and pull her into a hug, and just let her rest there. She wails against you, not the crying wail. I mean, she's hitting you rather weakly with her
That's
hands to get you to stop and put her down, but she's not doing it with enough force, or at least the force that you're used to which she 100% can exude if she wants to, until she eventually just gives up and just lays there weakly against your chest.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of good reason for why this stuff is happening.
To which she'll make a
We're gonna-
small comment and go, I fucking hate being pregnant.
Yeah, understandable, but it seems like you're a lot quicker with it than most people.
Fucking hate
Like, I
being
think-
pregnant.
Yeah, I think it's over in a couple months, 2, 3 maybe.
6.
Oh damn.
Fucking hate being pregnant.
I'm going to, feeling rather awkward in this situation, I'm going to mix up a polypurpose panacea and put it on the table for her and say, try this. It will give you, I'm going to make it for intoxication, and I'll just say, this will give you the buzz of having a few drinks. without being harmful to the baby.
Her head slowly turns towards Locke. How many can you make?
I mean, I can make you 7.
Give me
However,
7.
you will have to space them out once an hour, otherwise they aren't going to do anything.
Me 7.
I expend all 7 first level slots.
She puts all of them on her belt, with the exception of the last one, which she drinks and then tosses at Locke for him to catch. And then after laying there for about 3 more minutes, says, I hate being pregnant.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where are you going next?
I don't know, Locke, where are we going next?
Do you want to run down of where all the instruments are again?
I have it written down.
There was one to the north of us, right?
If you want to go up, I think it should be in the resources section. There should be a big old map that you can look at.
Oh yes, there it is. There's the map.
Yep.
So,
But I haven't... Yep.
You are in Tarantus, to which if you're looking at the big body of land, the Triangle Peninsula at the very south, Tarantus is on the right-hand side, Dragonport is on the left. Do you see it?
Yep.
I got it.
Alright. So, to go over it again, the small black box is in Ironstead. Ironstead is on that curled peninsula in the top right-hand corner. It'll say the Erland, Land of the Dragon Princes. That area right there. Next to the Cold Sea and across from the Fell.
That's far.
So that's where Ironstead is. It's all the way over there. High Rock is literally just across the sea from Tarantus, northeast of Tarantus, so it's not that far away. Dragonport is obviously on the left-hand side of Tarantus, though that is technically further away, simply due to the fact that you have to travel down the peninsula and back up the peninsula in order to get to it by boat. You just did the microphone, and Scrag is northwest. So if you're looking at Tarantus, look north and you'll see Dun Amon. Look north again and you'll see Last Wall.
Yeah.
And then look to the west of Last Wall until you see a black rock, and that's Scrag.
Ah.
So that one's actually kind of far away. The item that I know that you stole before is currently in High Rock.
Sorry, so High Rock seems to be the best one. We probably want to end in Dragonport. We don't know that Guava will still be there, but we know that's where they're headed. So it makes more sense to gather as many as we can before going there. And potentially we can deliver the instruments to Guava in Dragonport.
Oh, she'll most likely be long gone by then.
I mean, probably, but...
I mean, she did say to return to Tarantus and that she would be in Tarantus when you're done.
Oh, fair enough.
So you don't have to worry too much about your ending location. It's just a matter of where you would like to go.
I mean, I guess how long does it take to get to, like, Ironstead or Scrag, so like the very far away places?
They would be very far away. For those, it might be best to do the one that's closer to it and then take a boat from there. Like, if you want to do Ironstead, it might be best for you to do High Rock first and then take the boat to Ironstead. And then if you want to do Scrag, it might be better for you to do Dragonport first and then take a boat to a land nearby and then walk to Scrag. since it's not actually a port city.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we head for High Rock.
High Rock?
High Rock Ironstead. Sounds good.
Alright, so High Rock first. Which means I need to go get the city of High Rock and slap that down as a wallpaper. Okay, and then I can close that. And then I need to go over here so that I can put this into the completed section, and then we open this. To which, ignore this picture for now. This picture doesn't mean anything for right now. Okay? Don't look at it. Don't do it. Do not look. It is illegal for you to look. Why are you looking?
I don't even know what you're talking about. There's nothing. There's nothing there. I don't see anything.
Good.
I seem to recall a conversation in which you told us to think like criminals.
Are you being a criminal? Is that what you're doing?
Maybe.
You little
For
rat.
legal purposes, maybe.
You little rat. How dare you? Alright.
I can't even take offense to that because that is just descriptive.
I know. Alright. So, you'll take a boat from Tarantis to go to High Rock. Obviously, Layla is going to come with you because she is personally invested in this particular mission, if only for the fact that she personally wants to see this meteorite of sky metal. And do either of you actually remember the description of High Rock from literally your first session?
No.
No.
Okay, then I'll go over it again. High Rock is the location or the epicenter for new magical and scientific discoveries. This is where a lot of high-end mages like to go to live, regardless of what they look like and everything else. And the entire city is pretty much akin to one massive interactive museum.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember that.
I'm surprised, considering your character, but I'm surprised. But yeah, it's basically just one large interactive museum. While there are actual museums here, you don't actually need to pay to enter any of the museums. You have to pay a visitor's fee to the city for as many days that you believe that you are going to stay there, to which you have to pay a minimum of 3 days before you return back to the front gate to repay. After those 3 days, you can pay, per day or pay in advance and that type of stuff. But when you enter, you do have to pay gold, to which the gold is 300 per day. So it is 900 gold that you have to spend in order to even enter the city.
Jesus Christ. That is extortion.
It's because once you're in, you don't have to pay for lodging at any of the taverns. You still have to pay for food, but you don't have to pay to rest, and you don't have to actually pay to enter any of the museums. As a matter of fact, if you see that a door is open, that means that they are okay with expecting visitors, and you're allowed to walk in, and, on the off chance that they just happen to have it open at that time, they would tell you to either leave, or they can give you a tour of the magical artifacts and everything else that they have. So that's why it's 300 gold. You're effectively treating the whole city as a place to live for a day, not counting food.
Okay.
That's fair.
So we'll say
so
that
I need to
since
do
you
that.
enter on the port, you enter on the west end of the city, and as you get there, you are given information about the person who purchased the instrument last time, to which Layla says that their name is Peyosa. They are the Baroness of the city.
Okay.
She then looks at the both of you. You know what that means, right?
She is basically the one in charge of this place.
She's married to the one in charge of this place.
I'm gonna look between Layla and Duraz and say, so she's the one in charge of this place.
Layla will look over at Locke and nod her head and say, yes.
I will stay quiet. This is a trap.
Oh. Now,
You do have the address, so you know exactly where she is. It's just a matter of what you all want to do from here on out.
Can you write down the name once in the chat? Because this
Peyosa?
is... Yeah. Just so I can copy paste it once.
It's spelled that way, but it's pronounced like that. Because it's the Spanish double L.
Okay. Wonderful, thank you. Well, I guess if everything here is a museum, we can pay her a visit, see if she probably has a display for her artifacts and stuff. Do something similar we did for the last instrument.
yeah, I suppose that's probably a good place to start. Scoping out the situation is always a good place to start. So let us head to the Baroness's house.
So you're just gonna walk over there. Got it.
I mean,
Yes.
we might as well head there to start with, even if, if the door's closed, obviously we don't try to go in, but we can then, assess the area, because the most likely place she's keeping it is the house.
Okay. Okay, give me just a second to pull up the stuff that I need. Alright, so you approach the house, to which there's no new wallpaper, is because the wallpaper for her house is the wallpaper here, but it best represents the city anyway. And as you walk up the house, you see that there's several stairs that lead up to it. And you don't need to roll for perception for this, simply due to the fact that it is very easy to see, but the two massive double doors to the castle that she lives in is open, to which there are two guards on each side of the castle, each armed with a halberd, and dressing up in very heavy plate.
Maybe we go up separately, but Locke will just head up and just attempt to walk in.
All right. So you
Because-
simply walk up the stairs. Didas, are you gonna go with, or are you gonna do what he said and just wait?
Well, I think I'm gonna go with him. If they let us in, they let us in.
Okay. So the both of you then just walk up the stairs. Layla more or less behind. And as you get halfway up, Didas, you feel her tug at the back end of your pants, and she gives you the look. The look of, I don't want to walk anymore.
Understood. I'm gonna pick her up again. Just carry her.
When you pick her up and you start to cradle her in one of your arms, you notice in your peripheral that she has managed to pull out some small cleaning supplies, to which she starts to clean and lightly file your horn, at least the horn that she can reach.
Well, thank you.
You're dirty.
Not now.
Clean better.
Sure, will do.
Don't give me that sass.
I would never. Let's go
I'm
ahead.
the one carrying your child, and I'm the one with the gun. Don't give me that sass.
Yes, ma'am.
Much better. Clean yourself better. She'll, like, point the little cleaning tool at you, disappointingly. Eventually, you both reach to the doors, and as you stand there, tentatively waiting to see if you can go inside, one of the guards looks over in your general direction, simply gives you a nod, giving you indication that you can. So you do, and as you walk in, you see that there are a multitude of magical items on display. None of them are behind any form of glass. The way that it is that the pedestal is stationed beneath them, and some kind of magical property is taking the item in question and floating it above the pedestal, to which it simply slowly spins around, bobbing up and down at the same time. I guess the best way to describe it is the way that fucking Minecraft handles items on the ground. Where it sort of bounces up and down very, very slightly and spins at a very slow time frame. It's just like that.
Sure, okay.
Can I inspect the pedestals?
In what way? Like for magical stuff, or?
Yeah, it's like, I have an idea of how this might work.
Okay.
But obviously, I don't know how this works, so...
You can go ahead and roll a Knowledge Arcana if you so wish.
Knowledge Arcana. Which is...
Oh, hey, look, I got rated. Hello, everyone. Welcome to D&D. I hope you are all enjoying yourself. I'm here with a couple of my friends, and we are in the process of doing a heist for very rare artifacts. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it.
Hello, Raiders.
Oh my god, you're like Dante Limbus Company. I don't play the game, but thank you very much. Alright, so you examine the pedestals that are nearby, and you can tell that it is, it's very simple levitation magic. It's very low-end stuff that can be concentrated on in the back of your mind, simply to allow it to happen. The more concerning part about this is that there are about 30 different items here, and all of them have the exact same signature, which means that they are all being concentrated on by the same person. And it's at this point that that particular person walks towards the group, to which they introduce themselves as Peyosa. And they say, hello. to the both of you and they ask if you are enjoying the view of the items that are there. To which the both of you can go ahead and roll for perception.
Okay.
I'm gonna run and take a break, have a good stream. Enjoy your break, Akaru. I greatly appreciate the raid.
Damn, that's 3 let me down, but...
I mean, you still have a really high roll attached to it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You see that the way that they walk down the stairs is rather elegant, but they do these small, subtle movements to show off that they are indeed an incredibly powerful sorcerer of some kind. Thankfully, due to Didas's 43 here, you do see that the instrument in question that you're trying to hunt down is in this room. As a matter of fact, it's actually pretty close to the front door. If we were to put this all out in a row, that there are 30 items, there's 4 rows, meaning they go down, and starting at the door, it is in row 2 on the right-hand side. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Yep,
4 rows of
makes sense.
6, it's in the sixth row all the way on the right. Alright, perfect. Seeing that neither of you have answered the question, she effectively repeats herself to see if there's anything here that catches your eye and whether or not there are stuff that has piqued your interest. Though she does pause halfway through once she's close enough, and she sees that Didas is still carrying Layla, and that Layla is still cleaning one of his horns. To which she'll laugh at this and go, "Oh, I didn't realize that I had a couple and their son here to visit. How quaint."
Are
Yeah,
you
we did.
levitating all of these?
One at a time.
Because that's like super cool.
She gives a small bow, and she says, "Yes. Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I've spent a long time trying to find and procure these artifacts for myself. They're all helpful in their own way or form, though a few of these I'm still studying to see how they work."
But how are you doing all of them? Because in my studies, you only get like one spell you can concentrate on at any one time. There must be, what, 30 in here?
To which she'll laugh and she'll say, "I see that you didn't go to a well-renowned school, if that's a belief that you have."
I didn't go to school.
Then that would explain it.
A magic school.
Layla will slowly turn towards Locke. "Really? I didn't send you to school." That's what you're going to tell this person.
I went to school. I didn't go to magic school. Kate was very, very non-specific when it came to the arcane properties.
She'll just roll her eyes. "Cool, thanks."
You know how he is, just our little ball of sass.
She'll just grumble, say that she doesn't have the time nor the bullshit to deal with this. So what are you two gonna do? The instrument is right there. The woman who's making it levitate is also right before you.
Kindness.
You're embarrassing me in front of the wizard.
So, of everything you have in here, what's your favorite?
She'll think for a moment, and she'll actually walk over to the instrument that you're attempting to collect, and she'll motion to that. And she says, "Out of everything here, this is what interests me the most. I can tell that it's some kind of instrument, some kind of lute, but it doesn't sound like any lute that I have interacted with before. I can also tell that there's something else underneath it, but I don't entirely know how to make it work.
So a mystery yet to be solved, I guess. That does sound interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
We have clearly been seeing that just swiping this right now is not a good option.
Yeah.
This is also a place of magic, so invisibility is probably not necessarily going to help against guards here.
Ooh. You got any ideas?
Not really.
Not really.
Anything that
You don't have
outright
anything?
help me right now.
Would you like a hint?
Yes, please.
Sure.
She is curious about how the instrument works. Well, neither of you know how it works exactly, considering that you've only watched Guava play something similar, I think, twice? Right? Twice?
Yeah, I think twice.
Yeah.
You do firmly know that someone does know how to use it.
I mean, I
Yes.
once saw someone play something very similar to that.
Peos's head would tilt at this particular information, curious that you know something that she doesn't, and she'll take a step towards you and ask you why and how.
It was just a performer. We, on our travels, saw a Lagamon performing with something very similar to that.
Demon Lagomorph.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remembered Lago and just sort of winged it at the end.
Good job. Fantastic. Good job. She is, again, curious about this, but the way that you describe everything, the way that you talk, it's clear that she gets mildly upset. Specifically over the fact that you were giving her information and withholding it at the exact same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, you could have just told her 100% all the information here, but you only told her like half. And she could tell that you only told her like half.
That's fair.
And when she talks to you again, I would like the both of you to go ahead and make another perception check.
Perception, okay.
She
Damn.
approaches very calmly, and the way that she speaks feels like a thinly veiled threat, to which she says, well, considering that it's clear that you know more, and by the way that you're talking seems that you're at least in some kind of rush, would you like to come back later when you are a bit more gathered in your thoughts, and we can sit down and talk about it. To which Daras, due to your 43 there, immediately notice that Layla thinks that something is up, to which she is giving you eye signals to go along with it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. After all, we just arrived in the city and haven't really acquainted us with the landscape yet.
She'll then ask, oh, then what time would you like to meet? I presume, as you just said, that you just landed. You're here for a maximum of 3 days anyway, so what would you like to do?
Actually, no. Locke just looks like confused at this point because he is unaware of this signaling between Layla and Daras.
I mean,
So
Daras
he's
could
just kind of
attempt to
confused.
signal it to you, which that would be a linguistics and perception check. Linguistics from Daras, perception from Locke.
I don't even know if I want to attempt this.
So it's an int check if you don't have it.
Yeah, I think I'll try to signal Locke.
You can read.
What
I think
could
I'm
go
a
wrong?
little bit, Christina, but that's okay. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
So, linguistics. Let's
There's
go.
my-
You are saved by the fact that Locke rolled a 55. So Locke, you're getting at least part of the signal. It feels like a warning signal to you more than anything else, but you're getting at least that there's something that you should be weary of from Daras. You just can't tell specifically what.
Okay.
What time was it at this point? Generally?
Right now it'd be sometime in the evening, probably like 4 or 5
In the
o'clock.
evening. I guess it's probably best if we meet tomorrow. Yeah,
Maybe
I'm gonna-
around noon.
I guess we can do it in the sometime in the morning. So, how would tomorrow morning sound?
She agrees to that. She nods along and says, of course. Would you like me to supply you all with breakfast, or would you prefer to eat before you come here?
We'll eat on the way. Thank you very much.
Do you have anything else to add, Locke?
No.
Alright.
He's just gonna play the innocent child role.
The innocent child role at the ripe age of 26, I think, is your
Yeah,
character.
You're a grown-ass man.
I can't remember what age you started at the start of the campaign, but I do know that it's been a year since the start of the campaign.
I have it in here somewhere. I'm sure I put it in somewhere. I think it was in the history.
Let me update the age. I guess.
22, so I'm now 23.
Good job.
But to be fair, I am a small creature, so
Yeah, that's totally
I
how
can-
age works.
I can pretend.
Yes?
Just because
I
I'm
mean, I
Asian
guess
doesn't
if
mean I
this-
know every Asian.
Get out of my room.
No.
No?
What a crazy thing to hear.
Oh, fucking... Come
Come
on.
on.
So weird.
You're the one who went.
You're the weird one.
You know what's fucking weird?
It's my wife, everyone.
No, I'm gonna agree that Sin is the weird one for that one.
Yeah, exactly. See, I know I'm right. Wink wonk.
Exactly.
So as you all leave Peosa's mansion and start to leave, making sure that you were well out of earshot, Layla will look over towards Locke and then towards Dadas, and she will say, "You know how there's only 2 people above me in the entire guild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, each of them have some very specific speaking patterns in the way that they write their letters. And if I am to assume that these people write similarly to the way that they talk, she's number 1.
Oh,
Wait. So number 1 hired us to steal that guitar.
no. Guava hired us to steal a guitar not knowing it was number 1.
Yeah, but that's the one we already stole.
Was it? Okay, I got it confused with the other one. Well, I guess then number 1 hired us.
Yeah. Under a pseudonym, asking for something. Maybe it was some kind of test. She can just do it herself, can't she? And then she just starts to mumble to herself about all these possibilities to why they just didn't do it themselves.
Maybe? But I guess
More
in that
interesting
case,
question is
we can't steal it, no. Don't even suggest that.
that's not what I was going to suggest.
Okay,
The
good.
more interesting question is, I understand why Mom doesn't know number 1 by sight, but surely number 1 should know her.
Layla will look over towards Locke and say, "I can guarantee she most likely recognized me, and she's just playing it off."
She's very good.
So I guess what's the plan? We just talk openly to her next time? So tomorrow?
She looks back up at Dadas and go, "Oh, would you like to lie to the greatest thief in the entire guild?"
No.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what
I'd
I
like
thought,
to,
you
but I think
fucking
she'd see through
dumb,
it.
stupid idiot. Now give me your other horn.
Yeah, okay, switch position. This side now.
She'll just start cleaning and filing down the other horn.
Thank you.
Why would
Well,
number 1 hire us? It just doesn't make sense.
Hmm?
Well, who assigned us to that mission? Was that you, or was that orders from above?
No, it wasn't me. I just passed that one along.
So chances are she maybe made the mission and chose us to do the mission.
Layla thinks for a moment and
Question
goes,
is
"Okay."
why?
She, once again, is now getting mildly frustrated. To which she'll do a mild outburst and effectively yell out and complain that instead of the 3 of them going, it's just Locke, if he wants to be so nosy about it.
I'll go on my own.
No, you won't. We'll come with you.
To which
He's
Layla
just
will once again do another mild outburst and go, "No. No. Let him do it. He wants to be a big boy."
Oh, come on. You are gonna let one of your kids go alone.
It's probably the one person I can't kill. And also the one person that I cannot kill.
I mean,
Fair.
there's 2 people you said that about recently.
Oh no, I'm gonna kill her.
Ah, sure, we're back to killing her. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess we have a free evening because there's not really anything to steal here.
Good. Then you, and she points at Dras, are gonna take me somewhere.
Sounds perfect.
She'll look over at Locke. When are you gonna give me grandkids?
You're only just getting around to having your own kids that you didn't adopt.
Her eyes will narrow. Before you gave me any.
He's gonna backpedal on that.
She's like, before you gave me any.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, could be. Go get pregnant already. So that you can feel how much I feel right now, and then you can hate it.
I'm gonna offer her one polypurpose panacea.
She'll drink it immediately. She'll just complain again about how much she hates being pregnant.
That's fair. I guess I will go find us a nice steakhouse.
Alright, we'll fast forward to the next day.
Yeah.
Locke, are you going to be eating anything before you go over, or are you going to go over on an empty stomach?
No, he will be eating beforehand.
Alrighty.
Especially because we have been informed that this is potentially the number one of the Thieves Guild. And actually, no. Locke is going to go on an empty stomach because he's pretty sure she can't poison him. Because unlike Sammy, he has not yet been a victim of arcane toxins. So
you do realize that Arcana Toxin bypasses poison immunity automatically, right?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
he hasn't felt that, so he's pretty sure he's safe.
Oh.
So he doesn't mind. He's gonna go and he'll eat whatever's offered.
All right. Are you gonna do any other prep before you get there?
I'm going to turn. I'll make 2 glimpses of truth.
Glimpses of truth.
Yeah, so that I potentially have some true sight if needed.
Potentially have true sight if needed. For a single round, got it.
I need to level up, damn it, so I can get real true sight.
Alright then. So you approach her manor one more time. You make your way inside, past the guards, to which you find the butler of the estate waiting for you in the lobby. To which I'll have you go ahead and roll a perception check. You notice that the instrument in question is no longer in the lobby. The butler then looks you over and asks a single question. How do you like your eggs?
Scrambled.
The butler, after asking that question, their tone shifts a little bit, to which they'll say, childish, okay. Except with a little bit more class and couth in the way that all British butlers have. To which he will then lead you through the manor into a solitary room on the back right-hand wing of the manor. The room itself is relatively small, just large enough for a table, a couple of plants, a singular window, and 2 people to sit in it. You find Peosa on the other side of the table, calmly eating her breakfast, to which the instrument is on the ground, leaning up against the wall, not far from where she's sitting. And she'll motion for you to sit down, and she'll say, you know, I'm very disappointed in you, Locke, for lying to me before.
I wasn't the only one lying, though, was I?
You said that you were going to come here after eating breakfast, and you decided not to. Why?
Because, honestly, the reason we were going to eat beforehand was something seemed off about you, and, you know, you try not to take the risk of being poisoned. However, I can't imagine the guild's number one is likely to poison one of her own without good reason.
There is always good reason for things to do what I do. However, I can absolutely assure you, regardless of whether or not I poison you today, you're not going to remember. Because the moment you leave those doors, you're going to forget. As a matter of fact, the spell takes place in roughly 24 hours, so the first time that you walk through here, you will forget in about 6. And then the second time you leave, you will forget in about 24.
Is this why Layla doesn't remember ever seeing your face?
I don't go down to the Thieves Guild. But this is how I keep my identity secret regardless. I know there's no perfect way to conceal my identity to those who interact with the orders that I give, so this is a failsafe, just in case.
So, if I won't remember any of this, you have no reason to lie to me, correct?
Oh, there are plenty of reasons to lie to you. You just won't remember them regardless.
Are you the one who assigned my group to steal that? And he will point to the guitar on the floor.
In a way, not on purpose. I didn't select each of you personally. I just asked for the quickest and most available group, and it just so happened to be V5.
So, you want to know what I know about the person that originally belonged to, right?
We will be very fair and very open. You tell me everything that I need to know about this particular instrument, and you can take it with you.
Okay.
My only desire when it comes to these types of artifacts is to understand everything about them. As to why, that reason will remain rather personal. But I do have a tendency to donate them once I am done studying them. So, if you can give me all the information about this particular instrument, as well as their owner, then you can just have it.
Okay. I will tell you everything I know. Though, at the same time, I don't know everything about it.
Then let's start with the person who owns this. And it'll be at this point that the butler comes in and gives you the scrambled eggs, to which the way that they say it'll be your scrambled eggs, as condescendingly as possible.
He's rather snooty, isn't he?
Yes, and he's the best damn butler in the entire city.
I like it. It's fun.
And also my older brother. Continue.
So the person who should own that instrument is a lagomorph named Guava. At least, I believe that's her name. That's what everyone calls her.
Last name?
I, as a person, don't remember.
As a person, don't remember. Fakian. Her last name is Fakian.
It is Guava Fakian.
Ah, the notorious criminal. Why would she be in possession of something like this? Isn't she a pyromaniac, kleptomaniac, wanted for several counts of assault and battery, as well as, I believe, 24 counts of attempted murder?
That sounds right. She seems a bit unstable, but as far as I know, this was created by a friend of hers,
Mm-hmm.
and that friend is no longer around, so she has sort of taken ownership of a few of these unique items.
We're all adults here, aren't we? You don't have to be so creative for avoiding the subject. Did they die?
I believe so, though I'm not entirely certain on the circumstances.
Then just say that they're dead. You don't need to say that they're not around. Otherwise, I can
Okay,
make you
they're dead.
no longer be around, if you so wish.
And I'm good. I'm good. I like my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the friend is dead. The instruments at some point were stolen from Guava, and she is looking to have the guild return them to her.
Now, the reason why I find that so hard to believe is due to the fact that she is extremely volatile and can't even speak a full-fledged sentence. So how did she hire the guild if she can't even speak properly?
Because currently, she is entirely sane.
Again, I don't believe you. How?
Something to do with a circlet that she wears.
Peyosa will raise an eyebrow for a moment and go, "Oh, and you have direct witness to this?"
I saw her as the destruction incarnate without it, and I've spoken to her while she wears it.
Then I would like you to bring me that circlet once you are done delivering these instruments.
Okay?
Good boy. Are you going to eat your food
I
now?
assume since I won't remember this, you will be putting this into official orders?
Oh no. You'll remember that. She smiles.
Oh.
Trust me.
Then absolutely.
It is not a friendly smile.
And I will start eating my eggs.
Now tell me what you know about the instrument itself.
I believe from things that were said, these instruments all use electrical energies to produce their sound. Though how they do that, I don't know.
Guava never mentioned to you how?
I don't think she entirely understands it herself. Like I said, the friend who is dead made these, and at least from what the cleric said, the circlet is supposed to help Guava regain her full memories, so perhaps she knows and the memories simply haven't come to the surface yet. But in my conversations and what I have overheard, she is not currently aware of exactly how these work. She simply knows how to use them.
Peyoso seems incredibly disappointed by that particular statement, to which she'll sigh and roll her eyes and go, fine, fine. In which case, when you bring that circlet back, you are going to tell me everything about that instrument. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good boy. You may take the instrument now.
I will shovel the last bits of egg into my mouth and then stand up and take the instrument.
She'll look over in your general direction as you begin to leave, and she'll say, make sure you learn. You don't want to disappoint me, do you?
Ma'am, I would be learning what these instruments do even if you hadn't asked.
She'll smile at this and go, maybe you'll make a good thief yet.
Hopefully one day.
She'll more or less shuffle you along and go, okay, run along now.
Ma'am, and I will bow and leave.
Terrifyingly running through the door.
I mean, I imagine initially walking out of this manor, he is completely stoic. He is the essence of calm, walking slowly and with great, great purpose in his stride. And the second he is at the bottom of the steps, he is running like a terrified child to go and find his mother.
To which you will eventually bring this particular instrument, I guess to where it needs to go, which is to your mother, right to Layla. Don't really know what else, because she would basically just go, oh. How easy was it?
Easier than you might think, but I basically just got given a job and I will forget everything that happened except for the job I've been given.
Huh? She seems mildly confused by this.
Well, going off what she explained, we are all going to forget that we met her in about, I imagine at this point, about 5 hours.
Yeah, about 5 hours.
About 5 hours from now, we are not going to remember having met that woman at all. At least yesterday's encounter with her. I'm going to remember her for about 23 hours at this point. And after that, I won't remember, apart from the fact that I have a job to do for that woman.
Okay.
Well, you walked out alive, so that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Good job.
That woman, the sheer knowledge she has to have to make people forget her the way she does both terrifies and intrigues me.
The way that you say that concerns me deeply, and I no longer wish to know what type of fetishes you have. So let's move on to the next place, please.
Alright.
Okay, next place it is, I guess, which was Ironstead.
Yep.
So you want to go to Ironstead.
Yes.
I think for that particular one, since we're 3 hours deep, we can save that for the next session.
Okay.
Since that one is a little bit longer, since it involves the Bardic College as a whole.
Okay, interesting.
Blazing through
by
these
the way,
heists at blistering speed. I mean, they have, I think it's 5 that they gotta do in total, and they just did 2. Technically the 2 shortest ones, so that's not too bad.
Oh, nice.
So you have 3 left. I know 1 will probably take a whole session. The other 2 might be 1 session together, depending on how it's done. But yeah, that's actually not that bad. You did do 2 instruments in a single session, which means you may be in the very unfortunate situation where you might finish your stuff well before Group A finishes their stuff.
Oh,
And
no.
you might just sit around for a week or 2 waiting for them to finish.
Damn,
But that's okay, that happens sometimes.
it happens.
The only other thing that I can say is that if you are like a week or 2 ahead, we can probably do like another town square type thing in Tarantus if the 2 of you would want to do something like that, but part of that could just be side session stuff anyway. Regardless.
Yeah, we'll see when we get to it.
Yeah, we'll see when we get to that. Regardless, that'll be the end of today's session, so I hope you all enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, and good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.